Good evening, everybody. I'm Mike Tedesco.
And I'm Victoria Tedesco.
Welcome to Post-Raw episode number 8.
We did promise viewers that it would be the best Post-Raw show.
Did we?
Yes, remember? Because 8's my lucky number.
Oh, that's right. That's right. This is Victoria's lucky number, so I guess now the onus is on us to not break our promise. Wow. So this is going to be the best Post-Raw we've ever had, then I suppose. Welcome to the show. Okay, let's just jump right into Raw. It came from Denver, Colorado tonight. I know everybody's been anxiously waiting for us to talk Raw, so let's just do it. There's no really big news this week that needs to precede this. So, other than the fact that it's basically official that Shawn Michaels is coming out of retirement, but we will talk about that eventually. Pretty exciting stuff. So before we get started, I guess we should look at our Raw poll and stuff like that. So you know how that goes. Let me just make sure everything is all set to look at that, so I don't screw it up. Because you know me, I don't like to botch things, or I try not to at least. So I have had this thing up. It started at 11:11, and that's the Make-A-Wish one. Yeah. Hey. All right.
Yeah.
So let's see. We got 26 votes so far, and people are giving it a thumbs up.
Okay.
All right. I can get down with that.
Yes.
It's 65% thumbs up, 35% thumbs down now.
Okay.
26 votes in about 20 minutes or so. Pretty good stuff. You know what? I can't say I disagree with people
to agree.
today.
I think this is the first one where I'm going to give a thumbs up.
Oh, wait. We've done 8. This is our 8th episode, and this is the first time you're giving a thumbs up to anything?
I think so.
Really?
Because before that, it was in the middle.
Uh-huh.
When you had the in the middle. And then...
The middle?
Yeah, the in the middle.
Oh, the thumbs in the middle thing.
Oh, my
gosh. Did we
gosh.
have that?
Yeah,
did we have
did.
that when we... No, not when we started the show.
But I was giving it a thumbs.
You were giving it a thumbs in the middle. Okay. You were just going against the grain.
No, but now, I would say, because like I said, I have to choose.
Mm-hmm.
It's a thumbs up. And you know what? I give it a more than a thumbs up as far as, I'm not in between.
Well, it wasn't a bad show.
No.
I have to say that. I mean, of course, the third hour dragged something fierce, big time fierce. But the main event was fun. The opening segment was fun. The show had a purpose. They actually had focus on the show. There was a reason things were going on, and there was you know what? This is the thing that I always, and of course we're going to talk about the show itself, but I just want to say, I've always I've been saying this for quite some time that Raw is missing that thing. They used to do this back in the day. They would give the show just a one storyline focus, it's the storyline exists just for this Raw. I always go back to the one Raw from 2002, and it was going to be Brock Lesnar versus The Rock at SummerSlam 2002, and in the build up to this thing, I guess The Rock just got involved in a one night feud with Eddie Guerrero, and that was going to be the main event. And so The Rock is talking about something having to do with Lesnar. Then Eddie Guerrero comes out and interrupts him. And that was the storyline focus of the show for that evening. There was actually this great thing about Eddie Guerrero came out on the stage, and he was talking about how his daughter has a poster of The Rock on her wall, and he just went in her room and tore up the poster and stomped on it. And then The Rock's like, "What in the blue hell is wrong with you, man?" It was awesome. And that was the focus of the show. And it had nothing to do with long-term plans. It was just you know what? We have a show, and the storyline is already basically written. It's already played out a little bit, and now we just have to get to the match. So let's just figure something else out to do for the night. Distract them.
Right.
That's what this show was all about tonight. It was about teasing this Dean Ambrose turn that everybody's been talking about. I thought they did a masterful job.
They did a phenomenal job with that, honestly. Right from the get-go, because the whole night you thought from beginning to end, you're like, maybe a possible turn. You know what I mean? I didn't think it was actually going to happen, but the fact that they really teased it, start, middle, end, well played.
It was really good. It was really good. So the show opened up, and I I always get really scared when they do this. This is I think this is the third time this has happened to me in my 10 years of recapping. But they opened up with a brand new WWE video, and
yes.
So basically, I think for like the first 4 or 5 years of my recapping, they had this like old video that went, "Yes, sir, we promised you a great main event." And that was like, that was my tagline, like open up my recaps.
Right.
So I was like, "Yes, sir, we promised you a great main event."
Yes.
And then the WWE video leads you to the show. And then they switch it up. Then Now Forever, which is actually easier to write, easier to type, which is fine by me. So when they showed a new video, I was like, oh God, now I have to come up with a new tagline, to open up my shit, my little recap here. And by the way, that I have to say, for whatever reason, I got nostalgic tonight when I watched the Connor versus Chad Gable match.
What?
That's what
Say right now.
Yeah. Okay. So what happened is that I was watching Connor take on Chad Gable in a singles match, and Connor won. And I'm like, well, gee, I think, I'm sure if I go back, I'm probably wrong, but I was like, God, this has to be like the first singles match I've ever recapped of Connor's before, and probably and if it's not the first singles match I've covered, it's definitely the first singles victory. And then I was like, oh, I've been doing this for like 10 years, and it's nice to have like, a first, because I've covered so many great wrestlers. I mean, I covered Shawn Michaels when he was active, The Undertaker when he had a great run on SmackDown from like 2008 to 2010. Mm-hmm. All these like really cool things I've got to cover. WrestleMania this year was a highlight of my Wrestleview career. And I was just like, man. And then I started doing the math, and I was like, okay, when I did that year of SmackDown, I did all 52 weeks, didn't miss a show.
No, you really didn't.
Did not miss.
No.
And I remember I counted how many matches that I recapped that year just for SmackDown. It was 300 on the nose. So then I was like, okay, well, there was that one year I was doing Raw and SmackDown together. And then, like, I did Superstars. I did the original NXT. I've done pay-per-views. and I just extrapolated. I was like, okay, so let's just say it's just 300. That's our baseline. Times 10, that's 3,000 matches that I've covered. If we just average it out like that.
Wow, you poor thing.
I know, but I think it's more, actually. I think I got to be at least at 3,500.
That's insane.
It's wild.
That's insane.
And I was like, so out of 3,500 matches I've recapped, Connor's singles match was the first singles match I've recapped of it. I don't know why. Like, it just got me nostalgic.
Oh, my God.
Brought a tear to my eye. Let's say hi to the chat room real quick before we get going here. Before I go off the deep end and start crying
there we go.
hysterically.
He's going to start crying, everybody.
Hello, Quentin Walters, as always. Nathan Rita. Yeah. Quentin Walters, of course, is a favorite of ours. He always follows us. Jamel's in the chat room. He's another favorite of ours. And everybody, basically anybody who tunes in live or listens to us and downloads us is our favorite.
Absolutely.
So, we have a lot of favorites
all are
here.
Fantastic.
Shifty Gizm did not care for the new Then, Now, Forever. Too many people no longer getting highlighted.
Okay.
You know what? I didn't really like. I was just so shocked by it, and I had to like get to recapping. I'm gonna have to like go back and analyze
me
this thing
too.
a little bit.
I wasn't really paying attention. It was different, but that was
Yeah. Oh, here's a nice little comment from Jamel. So much wrestling, Mike. Some of those years were trash. Shout out to Victoria for going through that with you. Yes, that was like when we started. When we started dating in what 2011.
2011.
And so I'd already been recapping for 3 years, and I was like, listen, this is a thing that I do.
Well, I know. I remember Friday nights. You were like, we have to watch SmackDown, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, imagine that. I'm 25 years old. She's 21.
That's how you know I'm a keeper, though. That's how you knew I was a keeper. Because you were like, oh, I have to do SmackDown, and then I was like, all right, and then you would recap it, and then you would do your thoughts afterwards.
That's right.
So it was never even like, oh, okay, just recap and then like hang out. It was like recap, thoughts.
And that was when I was like really not good at recapping. Like,
what are you talking about?
Well, those were the shows that would like take me 9.
No.
I don't know. When I started recapping, it would take me at least 3.5 hours to get through a show because I was rewinding and doing everything, and I was putting exclamation points on it. Well, actually, no, this is actually after we started dating. I was already fine by that point, I guess. But my original, like, the first year and a half of recapping was horrible. I was finishing shows. I would start, like, I would go out on a Friday night, come back, because, like, I didn't have access to post at the time, and I would have to email to Adam, so it didn't matter when I got it in. It was going up on Saturday morning no matter what. So I would, like, go out and then get back in at like 2 a.m. I was 21 years old when I started recapping. So, so I would go out, come back at like 2 a.m. and then recap until 5 in the morning.
You know
like,
what I
for
remember,
whatever reason. A 2-hour show.
I know. You know what I remember?
Well,
because your thoughts too. But you know what I remember? You'd be like, "Oh, can you like look at this, like, you know, grammar errors and everything?"
Oh yeah, yes.
And I would read the whole thing, and you're like, "No, I only had to read my thoughts." And I was like, "Oh, sorry."
Yeah, Victoria like did a whole grammar check on my entire recap.
But the entire thing, like from the beginning of the show to the end of the show, and then I would do the thoughts too. But you're like, "Oh, I was just looking for the thoughts." But thanks.
If you're gonna date somebody, try to date an elementary school teacher.
Yes,
you know, because they know a lot about, you know, basic grammar, and she helped me with my comma usage, actually, very much so.
Comma usage, it's.
I still have trouble with it's.
No, you know. I taught you.
Well, teach everybody real quick.
I don't want to teach everybody. No one wants to hear a grammar lesson.
Well, I actually, because I kind of forget, so you know.
Okay. It's with the apostrophe is it is. So you know with the apostrophe, it's two separate words that combine together. So that's how you know. And
it's with no apostrophe is the ownership.
And a little trick is you say the sentence out loud to yourself. And if you can say it is, and if it doesn't flow along, then you know it's the other form of it's.
The more you know. Presented by Wrestleview.
Grammar lessons from Victoria
Tedesco. Presented by the Post-Raw number 8. See? This show is already the best show ever.
Oh
We're hopefully teaching people something today. Good stuff.
I can't.
All right. So,
Raw.
Okay, so not only did we get a new tag to open the show, Stephanie McMahon also was right in the back in the limousine. Baron Corbin comes up. Of course, he sings to her happy birthday because it's her birthday. Now it's time to brown nose. The writers got a brown nose a lot. And she's not happy with Baron Corbin.
We all aren't happy with Baron Corbin.
He's truly like...
He's very lifeless. Like, he just has no emotion, in my opinion. But, like, it's emotion, but he's trying to have emotion.
It sucks.
Like, somebody can tell him... Oh, I broke your favorite souvenir.
Yeah.
I'm really sad that you broke my souvenir. I'm going to beat you up. Like, he just has not...
I'm going to end you.
I will end you. Stephanie, I will make this better. I promise.
Oh, God, yeah. It was so bad. And the goofy singing happy birthday. Yeah. As Quentin always says, Baron Corbett.
Yep.
Yeah, buddy.
Absolutely. You have to coin that, Quentin.
Yeah, he's got to trademark that real quick.
That's true.
So basically, Stephanie said, like, you know, I was expecting you to do a good job while Kurt's on vacation and Raw's out of control and you're booking yourself in Universal Championship matches. And she said, you know, if the Shield is such a problem, you got to find 2 mystery partners and take on the Shield in the main event tonight. Mm-hmm. And that was that.
You know, I didn't mind. Like,
I thought that was a fine.
I didn't mind Stephanie coming out because I know sometimes when she comes out, we're just sort of like, all right, here she goes on this power trip of. She has to emasculate everybody, but I was fine with it. I really like.
Yeah, there's no.
She wasn't over the top, and the truth of the matter is, you know, it made sense. He hasn't been doing a good job.
Yeah.
Obviously, well, for more reasons than beyond what's for the storyline, but it made sense. And then Triple H being there,
it all worked out.
It worked out, and I don't think they, you know, considering it was her birthday, I don't think they kissed her butt too much.
Oh no, they you
know what I mean? They actually were.
It was pretty
low key,
pretty tame,
pretty low key tonight. You know.
But it always reminds me of my favorite, one of my favorite Rock segments ever was I remember the last time Raw was on Stephanie's birthday was.
Oh, I think I remember you showing me this.
It was the last time I can remember was 2001. It was like 2 weeks after, obviously, like, you know, a few weeks after 9/11.
Yeah.
And the night after Unforgiven 2001, when Kurt Angle won the title from Steve Austin. and they did the whole birthday celebration for Stephanie, and The Rock sang a birthday song, which was the best. And for whatever reason, I was watching The Rock concert when he sings to Vicky Guerrero the other day, which is hilarious. I love The Rock.
Yeah.
But he goes, happy birthday to Steph. You're a hoe with big breasts. Take the night off from hooking. If you smell what The Rock is cooking.
Oh my God.
It was great. It was great. So this birthday didn't top that one for me at least.
Well, obviously.
It was good. The opening segment, I thought, and this is what set the pace for the entire night, was actually really well done. Right away, I mean, if you just look at what I'm going to show you here, and if you can't see it, I am just going to describe it to you. It's the Shield. They're standing in the ring, and Roman Reigns had the microphone. Number one, as soon as he took the microphone and started talking, the Shield went from getting cheered to getting booed.
Oh my gosh, I loved it. Roman just laughed immediately as soon as he opened his mouth. It was like, boo. And he was like, okay.
It's pretty funny. But he goes, we could read our resumes off, but...
And there was like, boo.
Yeah, he goes, but it'd take too long, so all we have to do is this. And they raised the title, man.
They that was so subtle, but that showed everything for what was going to happen this evening.
Yeah.
Right there.
It was awesome. I thought that right away. Okay, so it's like, oh, they must be signaling for a heel turn, but then that played into the story
the whole night.
So like
it did.
That's the brilliance of this whole entire thing. It's just
you could have put him anywhere, but putting him in the middle really set the tone.
Yeah, it's just the show line storyline that just worked out totally fine. And then Baron Corbin comes out, Baron Corbin, and he just stinks to high hell. Like his delivery is just so bad. I know I talk about it every week, but
I spoke about it before.
Bad, man.
You could tell him you broke his favorite souvenir, and he'd be like, "Oh my gosh."
Yeah. Oh, well, thank you. I think Roy Nemmer's here. He said, "Round of applause, great singing voice, Mike." Oh, I like that. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Oh, I like this one. Nobody is happy with Baron. This is from Jamel. Nobody is happy with Baron Corbin. That is an understatement. Rey Mysterio's son was better at emoting as a kid than Baron Corbin. Oh my God. Who could ever forget Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio for the custody of Dominic ladder match at SummerSlam? Because Eddie was the father, because Rey Mysterio couldn't get it up. Oh my God. I can't believe that was an actual storyline. I cannot. Some of the stuff that happened like in 2005, 2006, 2007, like the black hole of like WWE entertainment. Jesus. So bad.
Things we wish you could forget, right?
Oh my God, I wish. But you know what? No one had a more terrible night on the microphone, I think, than Braun Strowman. He was, Baron Corbin was bad in his delivery, but Strowman was bad on delivering his lines.
Honestly, I don't know if this was on purpose or not, but when they talked about when Baron Corbin came out and then Seth Rollins goes, "Oh, look," was it Seth or was it Roman? I can't remember now, but he was like the world's largest substitute teacher. Oh, that was that Rollins or
that was Rollins. That
okay,
like Rollins.
But whoever said it, but it kind of but then when he made that whole, was that math thing was it just poor delivery when he was talking about
I think the math thing was poor delivery, but it came right after that botch where he goes, a WWE Super Show.
Yeah,
instead of Super Showdown.
I wasn't sure or not, and then but it kind of played into this whole teaching thing, and it from that, and then he mentioned the math, and then Rollins is like, I think you better learn your math. I don't know, but I didn't know if it was on purpose or not. I didn't know if he botched it or if it was just it was just poor delivery, and that was meant to be because they don't consider Dean Ambrose even a thought.
So even
I don't know
if it was a botch, it actually worked out because it's basically saying we don't consider Dean Ambrose. So the botch was that number one, Strowman said, at WWE Super Show, it's going to be the two of them taking on the Dogs of Justice or whatever the name is.
But then again, though, is that contradictory because of Dolph wanting to play into Dean Ambrose?
Yeah, well, that's
what
I'm saying.
I don't really know.
But it came right after a botch, so it just sounded like, okay, that's a double botch now. Because then Rollins capitalized on it, and he's like, well, you better check your math because there's three of us here.
Anybody in the comments has any thoughts on it, please contribute.
I don't think it was a botch, but it just came. It had unfortunate placements. Now it just makes Strowman look completely inept.
Right.
Oh well, what can you do? I like this one. Ashley, we all know that wrestling's only true teacher of math is Scott Steiner, who has a 141 2/3 and 0.6745% chance of beating him. He's going to beat himself. And we have a 3.564789% chance of getting the show done under an hour. Hopefully we can. We'll see what happens. But so basically it's Rollins and Ambrose. I'm sorry, not Rollins and Ambrose. Ziggler and McIntyre teasing Dean Ambrose that, well, gee, you were out for 10 months, staph infection, you almost died. They have everything and you have nothing. You came back and you sacrificed yourself for Rollins. You came back and sacrificed yourself for Reigns. And what did it get you? They're holding championships and you have nothing.
Right. And
Ambrose did a phenomenal job. I'm showing this picture of Ambrose looking lost and forlorn here. He was tremendous emoting in this segment. It just set the pace for what was a good storyline for the show.
He didn't talk that much tonight, but through his facials, it says it all.
Yeah,
it's a real big strength of his. He has very, very good facials, and with his pacing back and forth that he does, and the neck cranking and everything, he really, really sells that well. That's how like what he's feeling and what he's contemplating, that sort of thing.
Yeah, like him struggling with his inner demons and kind of like to listen to the voice in his head.
Right.
It's a good look. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. So this was basically they're using the thing. Everybody's thinking, okay, Ambrose is turning heel. He's got to be turning heel. He's going to be the one turning heel, and he probably will be eventually. I would put good money on it. But they're teasing everybody with it. And giving you these scenarios that could potentially play out. It's very reminiscent of what they did at SummerSlam with Lesnar and Reigns.
Right.
And, well, everybody thinks there's going to be some screw job or Lesnar's going over or Strowman's going to cash in. So they put every single possible or Paul Heyman's going to turn. They gave every single possible scenario. They let every single one of them play out, only for it not to happen, for Reigns to get a clean win. This was very reminiscent of that kind of crowd control, so that they could, basically
give everybody a little bit what they want,
right,
but not actually doing it.
Exactly. So if that's the new, if that's what they're going to do for the fans, at least tease them with giving them what they want.
I liked it. I did. I liked it overall.
Yeah, it was a good segment overall. So that was good. And then throughout the, just give us the signal. We'll help you out. You want the Intercontinental Championship? All you have to do is come to us. I'll give you the title, this and that.
Even Renee Young.
Yes.
They brought into that. I was like, oh, wait, are they acknowledging the relationship? That's awesome, because she said to Corey Graves, she's like, yeah, I don't know if they contact him. I don't go through his phone. So I was like, oh, okay, we're acknowledging the relationship.
Yeah. Going to the chat room real quick, Jamel says, toning down the goofy faces has really helped Dean. I'm enjoying him since he's come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, toning down the goofiness. Getting rid of that rebound clothesline. Now there's only one terrible clothesline, which is Baron Corbin's inside-out clothesline. Luckily. All right. Our first match saw Jinder Mahal take on Finn Balor. So Jinder Mahal was accompanied by Sunil Singh and Alicia Fox, and Finn Balor was accompanied by Bayley. The way they made it sound was that Balor and Bayley were going to face Jinder Mahal and Alicia Fox at the Mixed Match Challenge, but I guess that's actually not the match that's happening, so I don't even know why this match happened at all.
It's not?
No. Balor...
They're not paying attention, probably.
Mahalisha, whatever their name is taking on somebody else. I know it's not them, so...
I wasn't paying attention to that part.
Yeah,
in between.
It was something. This was just...
It was a harmless match, though.
It was nothing.
It was not bad. It was not bad. It wasn't great.
It was just there to build up the Mixed Match Challenge.
But you know what, though? I mean, I know when Finn Balor came on, you were like, ugh, I don't mind him. The crowd's really into him, and I know I know you think
they're
it's
into
more,
his entrance.
Yeah, no, I get it, but I think he is good. I just think it's where does he fit into all this? Is he ultimate superstar? No, but
no.
It was a harmless match, and you know what? I think for what it was a match, and
they did it.
Yeah, it wasn't
no, it was totally inoffensive, and it was just it was a placeholder on the show, and they didn't have a bad match. So I can't, actually I thought the biggest success in this match was actually Bayley, who I think this Sasha Banks thing, Sasha Banks going down for a little bit, is the best thing that could happen to Bayley. They kind of give her a little momentum again.
Do you think she'll be all right for Evolution?
Probably, I would assume so. But she's obviously not well enough to come out on Raw, and Bayley looked better than she has in quite some time. Just sweeping the feet of Mahal and giving Sunil Singh the Bayley to belly on the floor. That was fun.
Yeah.
And it got a good pop for Bayley, and
it did.
Something earned.
Yeah, people were cheering for her for sure.
Yeah, and then the best part of this segment though was Jinder Mahal beating up Sunil Singh, and Alicia Fox is in the background going, What was Ashanti?
Yeah, the R&B singer.
She thinks that Shanti is Ashanti, the R&B artist.
Oh.
That was hilarious. I don't know.
That was. I don't know how many people got it, to be honest with you. I don't know how many people listened to Ashanti, but I was very into her back in 2001, 2002, 2003, even 2005.
Ashanti.
Yeah, Ashanti.
What was the song that she had?
Foolish. See, my days are cold without you, but I'm running from you, and though my heart can take no more, I keep on running back to you. Oh yeah,
I remember that song. Yeah.
And then she did a remix with Biggie. And then Biggie Smalls with it.
Wow!
And
so she was around for a while.
Well,
okay.
It was like it was like a track that he did prior to it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
but then
so
they had
it was like when they did Tupac had
but she was with she was with Murdering Productions with P Diddy and
P Diddy.
Yeah, and Ja Rule, they were all part of that
Nice.
Yeah. I like Ashanti, so.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, the next match that we have to talk about.
We have to talk
about that, and I like that. Jamel, Ashanti. Damn, I haven't heard that name in almost 10 years. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Bringing it back.
Neither have I.
Hashtag Ashanti.
So, thank you, Alicia. If that's the only... that's probably the best thing Alicia Fox has done in quite some time. So, there's that. Okay. Buckle up, because...
This is a doozy.
This one's a doozy. Natalia and the Bella Twins versus the friggin' Riott Squad.
It makes me so sad.
I just got to show this one video, and this sums it all up right here. Boom, boom. Look at that. Not only did she catch... Okay, so Brie Bella basically... Oops, sorry. Did it again. Brie Bella is just friggin' was doing the yes kicks.
No.
And not only did she catch Liv Morgan on the face once, she caught her right in the chin. Then she kicked... So Liv Morgan got caught in the chin, went like this, and then she kicked her flush in the forehead. Knocked her out cold. Liv Morgan was out cold in the ring.
Her face was
she was gone.
Out of it.
Out in space.
Out of it.
And then Brie was trying to actually power her up. This girl was down like a sack of potatoes, couldn't move. Brie fell under the dead weight of Liv Morgan. She couldn't lift her up.
Oh.
This was a really scary moment on Monday Night Raw tonight.
Honestly, I love the Bellas, and I love Brie. I love her, but this was just not... Something's up with her, and there's I have to say, Wrestleview comments, this is what the main focus was of the comments. I'll just read a couple of what I can read, because the camera's... screen's a little far away. But Jeffrey Adam Phillips, man, hate to say it, but Brie really needs to go back home, be a full-time mom, because her comeback has just sucked. And then... Yes, it has. And then Krishna M. Brie, with all due respect, please go back to the Performance Center. Another person. Hold on.
Okay, so, yeah. Oh, yeah, Headman.
Brie is extremely rusty. She was never this bad. They should have her train in NXT. JFJ. And then JFJ, that last yes kick from Brie looked like a knee that lived right in the forehead. I mean, this is dominating the comment section. Honestly,
it's so reckless.
Is just, and then Brie is so out of shape. She can't even get her leg high enough. No, out of shape meaning her stamina.
I know. Yeah,
high enough to get her leg. It's
what? It's one thing. Okay, so we talked about her match with the Riott Squad. I guess it's the Riott Squad, right?
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, where Brie almost killed herself doing a suicide dive twice.
Yeah.
That's fine. You want to come back and be reckless and try to do flashy moves when you're not ready for them and you don't know, and you're not just getting good jumps and you're not practiced. You want to go kill yourself on a suicide dive? Be my guest. But the minute you start coming in there and injuring your opponent, not really opponent, this is somebody that you plan to match with, they're putting their well-being and their livelihood in your hands, trusting that you can throw a worked kick and not hit them in the face, let alone twice. If you can't do that,
no,
you have no business being in the ring.
No.
Okay? And she's
got to reevaluate everything. Stuff happens.
Of course. When Seth Rollins kneed John Cena in the face, I thought Bret Hart was very unfair to Seth Rollins, saying that Seth Rollins is a dangerous worker and like all that crap that he was saying about him. Bret Hart is such a curmudgeon sometimes. But this one, this is like, you want to kill yourself? Totally fine. Don't hurt your opponent because you're trying to be.
But that's what I'm saying. Here's the problem. Here's the real crux of the issue here. That it's not just like, she was back and she was doing really, really well, and she's having good stamina in the ring. She's consistently been just like having a good move set, but she's been having this ring rust for weeks now since her return, and it's only getting worse. And it's like, if this was like the one time that she really messed up, not saying it's 100% forgivable, but it's at least a little bit like, okay, like she did a little too much.
Yeah,
she hurt her opponent. Stuff happens. But the fact that it's been every week, and especially on Raw. But the reason why, and we were talking about this before, the reason why SmackDown she's not having a hard time with is because she's not having like these hardcore matches.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, she's having matches where
she's
Maurice,
protected.
with somebody, Maurice who hasn't been in the ring for a long time.
Right.
She just had a baby 5 months ago.
You can hide her weaknesses behind what the Miz and Daniel Bryan are doing.
And it's because like they have this great storyline to back them up too.
Right.
And it's not that the Ruby Riott, Bella and Ronda Rousey thing. It's not that it's not whatever, but people are very invested into the Miz and Maurice and Brie Bella and Daniel Bryan just because of the reality. This, that, whatever. We're not going to get into that. But the fact that she shouldn't be wrestling on both shows. Like, she should be focused on, but she wasn't really having those type of matches against those females to begin with. Like, that hardcore.
Right.
So it's like, I mean, think about it. A good portion of that decade that she's been in the WWE has been a minute match, a 2-minute match. And wrestling consistently. She hasn't done it. Like with Nikki, even with her injuries and even with everything else, Nikki's still been in the ring.
Yeah.
She's still been training.
No doubt.
So, and Brie, this is like very new to her again.
I know.
Because she really took time off between but well before even Birdie came along. It was like, because they were planning to have Birdie, and then they didn't get pregnant right away, and then she had the baby. So it's like, she's been out of this for a very long time, and when you're a pregnant person and you go through that, your body does go through a recovery, but she needs to slow it down. She needs to either pick a show, stick to it, and just not be the one, because you can tell she was supposedly going to be the one not to take on the match, and then the hot tags were going to be Natalya and Nikki. So it was like,
yeah. It's just not a good look, and I'm watching the video right now, and it's just, these are just,
and I love her,
brutal kicks. I mean, that knee to the face is absolutely dirty, filthy. So, it's either go to the Performance Center, learn to chill out, or get out of the ring, because you do not belong in there right now.
Do you really? Do you think like somebody like? I mean, I know they're not, like we talked about, they're not doing that much, but do you think somebody like Maurice is like, a little nervous now?
Nah. I think
you don't think other female superstars are a little bit nervous to get in the ring with her?
Who knows? I doubt it.
I don't think they would say anything to them because they're the Bellas.
Of course.
But,
I
would be a little fearful.
Sure, I guess, but
just because of how rusty she is, especially what happened with
stuff happens in the ring, but looking at the comments here, I feel bad for going this hard, but something serious could happen if she goes like this. That's what Jamel says.
Yep, absolutely.
Quentin says split the Bellas, Brie to NXT or the Performance Center, and leave Nikki on the main roster, perhaps.
Yeah.
I think just less Brie in the ring.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Jamel says after Evolution, it might be time to leave the memories alone with Brie. I like the Bellas, but her comeback hasn't been too good. She has almost either hurt herself or someone else.
Somebody else, yeah.
Eric Flanagan says she's got to stop doing her husband's moveset. Like I said, she's got to stop doing flashy moves. And if you can't execute the moves,
no, it's
stay
true.
away. Stay out of the ring. So that's a thing.
Great points on everybody, honestly.
That's a thing that's happening. Okay. So from the ridiculous to the sublime here, this Connor's Cure presentation. Seriously, if you hate it, stop listening. We don't want your listenership. We don't want you downloading our podcast. We don't want you watching us on YouTube. If you hate what happened with the Connor's Cure thing tonight, we're good. We don't need you. This was such a beautiful presentation.
Beautiful.
These kids, they don't care if WWE's getting money from, sponsors and whatever, what have you, for having them on TV. They don't care about that. They're alive. And these kids are happy as hell to be alive. And they did this thing tonight. WWE announced that they have teamed with Hyundai Hope on Wheels. So Hyundai, a major car company in the world, I would say. Not my favorite car in the world, but, is what it is. So Hyundai has this thing, and it's been around for... How long did that guy say? Was it 20 years?
20 years.
20 years, yeah. They're celebrating 20 years. Hyundai Hope on Wheels. They build this Hyundai car, and they put the handprints of cancer survivors on the side of the car.
Amazing.
This year they teamed up with WWE Superstars. Superstars had their hands on the car. Kids had their hands on the car, and they introduced these two Superstars of Tomorrow, two cancer survivors, Carter and Elizabeth. And, everybody says, they criticize Stephanie McMahon for saying philanthropy is the future of the business. These kids don't care.
No.
They were happy still to be there. That little girl, Elizabeth, when they handed her the title belt and said, "You're a champion," she was crying.
I was crying.
Victoria was crying.
Victoria was crying. I'm not joking. This isn't like, it was an exaggeration. I was in tears because of how powerful it was and just how emotional it was. It's just so nice to see that despite all the negativity, that maybe WWE doesn't do everything right, no doubt. And we're talking about last week with Saudi Arabia. I honestly, this is the one thing that I can say that I am so happy and so grateful to watch a show that does something like this for kids.
Yeah. This made me feel just so good. Hyundai gave WWE and Connor's Cure $200,000. This was just an awesome moment. My favorite part by far of this show. I can't give a show that had something this awesome on it a thumbs down.
Absolutely.
I just can't. It was just so well done, so beautiful.
Everything.
And the things that they're doing, does it help WWE? For sure it does. It helps their public image. This is a company that, last I saw was trading at $90. They have a $6 billion or $7 billion valuation. A wrestling company. A $7 billion valuation. I think I got that right. If somebody can correct me in the chat. I'm pretty sure I thought I saw it was at $7 billion last I saw. It helps their image, absolutely. These kids care, absolutely not.
No, but more importantly, it helps these kids.
They're alive because of the help that they've got from companies like Hyundai Hope on Wheels and Connor's Cure and WWE. And these kids were made to feel like $1 million. They almost had their lives robbed of them. I'm 31 years old. thinking that that maybe I have 50 years left and I'm going to die in 50 years if I'm lucky, it freaks me out. I couldn't imagine if I was faced with something at like 8 years old and like, hey, Mike, you have leukemia and you're going to die.
They're stronger than any adult that I know. Any adult.
So WWE took, and Hyundai Hope on Wheels and these companies, charity is the future, the philanthropy is the future of business, okay. But WWE took these kids who were down and out, thought their lives were over, and they're making their lives something special, even after they survive this thing. Mm-hmm. I got to give my hats off to them.
Absolutely.
Totally awesome. So, just a beautiful presentation.
100%.
Yeah, like Jamel says, as long as the kids and their parents are happy, then it doesn't matter what some angry, sad POS on Twitter thinks. If you hate this, then your soul is ashy. I hope you get bed bugs. I like that.
That's great. I want to wish bed bugs on somebody.
Yeah. Quentin gives it 1,000,000 thumbs up. And like Eric, this is something sobering because I was right there with this guy, Eric Flanagan, 8 years old. All I wanted to do was play Nintendo.
Exactly.
Not fight for my life.
Not fight for your life. Everyone.
And these kids have had to fight for their lives.
Full agreement with everybody.
Awesome stuff.
Awesome. Thank you, and Carter and Elizabeth.
Yeah, Carter and Elizabeth, awesome job.
Awesome. Love you both.
Oh, I have to also say this, and I'm flipping back now to the segment before. So when Liv Morgan was out cold, they somehow let her run back in and take a triple suplex spot. That was weird.
I know.
I didn't like that.
Whoa.
Anyway, I just had to put that out there because I thought that was
really
very
strong,
reckless.
Well, really strong on her part to
my hat's off to her.
She probably doesn't even know that she did that. Like she's probably backstage and she's probably like.
She's like, did I hit the triple suplex spot?
Well, she probably is like, what did I? Where am I right now? Like that's how out of it she looked.
I feel bad for her.
Remind me of like actually, her face looked worse when the Miz got his concussion at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And he was just like glossy eyed and. I know Chloe's like, I don't even remember winning the title. I don't
remember the pinfall.
So she probably doesn't even remember at all. Poor thing.
Yeah.
But kudos to her for getting back in there because she could have easily been like, hell no, I'm not doing that.
Right. But with the it's kind of sobering because if you've been able to listen to my interview with Chad Gable today, he talks about concussions and how every wrestler has CTE, and it's just. It's not that you stop getting concussions. It's that
you don't get
hope she's okay.
You don't get taken backstage like that for.
You think about like okay, I'm a Yankee fan. Not everybody might know this name if you're not a baseball fan, but Clint Frazier is a guy, a young prospect up and coming, got injured in spring training, a concussion. This guy was out for the entire year because he just couldn't get rid of the damn symptoms.
They're no joke.
Concussions are no joke.
No. I've had 4.
Yes, Victoria's had quite a few. Which has served me well because it's, I guess the brain damage made her want to date me. So that's a good thing. But here's something that wasn't bad. Chad Gable and Connor. The match itself wasn't that great, but like I said, it got me
it had nostalgia
reminiscing, for nostalgic purposes.
I didn't think it was bad, though.
It was fine.
I didn't think it was fine. It was one of those ones, again, harmless matches there. Okay. I love the positivity Chad Gable has, too.
Oh, I know. He's such a little rat.
Just like a little,
Yeah. 3,000 matches. It's the first Connor match singles match I've probably ever recapped. It was definitely the first victory. And he used the Dominator. I love that move, and Bobby Lashley should be using that move, not Connor.
Yeah.
The Dominator is such an awesome move. I just showed it on the GIF right here. Mm-hmm. But, man, that is such a great move. And he should be using it.
Good for him.
After that, Stephanie McMahon, Triple H walk into the limo. Charlie asks Triple H about The Undertaker, and he says, well, we're not fighting in suits in a boardroom. If he's thinking about me in a suit, then he's already lost. As far as him taking my soul, Triple H sold that soul a long time ago. Everybody that is honest with themselves can feel it in the air. It's been coming for a while. When it comes to The Undertaker, the end is near. Yeah, they've said that for years. Honestly, I love The Undertaker, all-time favorite. The end has to be near. It has to be. Leave the memories alone.
And on a high note, please.
Please. Oh, the high note would have been 2013 or something like that.
I know,
or maybe even the Brock Lesnar match in the Hell in a Cell. Call it a day.
Okay.
But
Well, it's happening, so we can't stop it.
Hey, CJ Bowman. Hello, Tedesco Familia.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hola.
Yo, Wrestleview fam. All right. So, after that, we had a very, very surprisingly good Raw Tag Team Championships match. Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre, the champions, defending against the Revival. Well, this was a lot of fun.
It was great.
A lot of fun.
The Revival, too.
I was not expecting this to be that good. Because we were
No.
talking who's going to be the face, who's going to be the heel. Obviously, Ziggler is going to be Ziggler and McIntyre are going to be the heels, but Revival's heels too. Is it going to be heel versus heel, or were the Revival? Wow, how about that? Were the Revival going to be the faces? And they were the faces. Doomsday Devices, they're breaking out. They're doing a whole bunch of spots.
That's good.
They looked great actually, and
Nobody looks bad coming out of this. Honestly,
they came up short, but
I really don't think. I don't think that hurt them, though.
Not at all.
I don't think so. And they'll definitely get an opportunity again. And it's not bad going up against, your top guys right now.
No, and wow, Ziggler, what a career resurgence. The only thing they got to do is get rid of that damn record scratch. That record scratch is
It serves no purpose anymore.
It's
I mean, it never really did to begin with, but...
You know what? It's like, I you want to take Ziggler serious. I want, he's a serious guy, and when he's in the ring, I look at him now, it's way different than I looked at him even 6 months ago.
Right.
Okay? Because he was dead in the water 6 months ago, and that would have been in March. This guy was just floating around the roster. Then he teams up with Drew McIntyre, and it's like, okay, well, now Dolph Ziggler's back. After floundering for like a year and a half, 2 years. He's back in a big way.
Actually back.
Yeah. And that record scratch takes away from me a little bit. It does. As soon as I hear, I'm like, oh God, they're still doing that thing. But still, whatever.
Great match.
This was a great match. The Revival. This was the best showing by the Revival since they've been on the main roster after WrestleMania 2017. They never really got a shot. Broken jaw. I think Wilder had the broken jaw, and then Dawson tore his biceps right after he came back. So. Now they have the label of injury prone. I don't think somebody correct me if I'm wrong in the chat room, please. I don't think they've ever had a match on pay-per-view. I don't think so. I know they've done a bunch of pre-shows. I don't think they've ever had a match on pay-per-view.
Like the main show?
Or at least a match where they were featured. Maybe they had maybe there was a tag team turmoil I'm forgetting about.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
So somebody in the chat or call.
Yeah, somebody's got to help us out there, but this was easily the best showing by the Revival since they've been on the main roster.
Yeah.
And it built so well. It was a slow build, and then action, just all action at the end of the match. And they came up short. I want to see a rematch.
I want to see a rematch too, and I think they'll get it. I don't think it's one of these we'll just give it to them and see how it goes.
Right. So awesome stuff.
Awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen, Elias is out there. He doesn't do any performance tonight because Denver doesn't deserve it. Instead, they do the Kevin Owens show. And I have to say, this was just not good. Okay,
no.
So they did one long segment with this. Lio Rush, I love Lio Rush. I really like him on the main roster.
He was great.
He did a great job hyping... Oh, excuse me, I'm getting the hiccups right now. They did a great job hyping up Bobby Lashley. And... got Lashley cheered. I mean, yeah, it was cheap. It was a cheap cheer, cheap pop because he's in his hometown. But this is easily the most over Bobby Lashley's been in a match since the Raw match that he had against Roman Reigns at the beginning of August. Since then, Lashley's just been existing. So Lio Rush definitely helped him out there. It doesn't help Lashley that Lio Rush is significantly more interesting than he is. But we'll just have to deal with that. Because as soon as the match started with Elias, Bobby Lashley was just a dude. It was every single big man match you've ever seen.
What'd you call it? The 80s?
Dull. I called it. It was literally like watching
the 80s. What did you say?
Don Morocco versus Dino Bravo. It's just like two big guys just doing stuff, and none of it's good. And it's slow and plotting, and they went through 2 segments of that. So we had the Kevin Owens show.
Yeah.
So that was 3 segments. 3 of this stuff. Lio Rush was fun, but not enough to save 3 segments. And then they gave you, after 3 segments, drawing this match out,
I know.
a popcorn fart finish with, trading DQs. So last week, Elias won by a cheap DQ because of I guess Lio Rush or whatever it was, and then it's now Kevin Owens accidentally knees Bobby Lashley in the head while chasing Lio Rush, so he gets so Bobby Lashley wins by DQ.
And you know what? I'm not buying like Elias and Kevin Owens is like.
Yeah, that's neither here nor there. They're being thrown together to face John Cena.
Yeah,
it's
but the only thing is though, like, and normally Kevin Owens is like so charismatic.
Right.
This segment was just like okay when he was when he was doing the whole banter with Lio Rush. It just didn't live up to my expectations because I thought like, oh okay, like Elias did his thing. Lio Rush comes out, and I thought, like, oh, Kevin Owens is going to come out and put the cherry on the cake. But it was just kind of like, didn't really...
Yeah, it didn't click for me on that one.
No.
And the finish was bad. Bobby Lashley is the first time he's been over in a match in quite some time. I get for continuity and storytelling purposes, they wanted to have the lame DQ finish because that's how Elias won last week. But you know what? It wouldn't hurt Elias if he lost to Bobby Lashley. And if Bobby Lashley's getting cheered, let him get a big, call an audible. Let him get a big pop in his hometown, in front of the hometown crowd, and let Bobby Lashley for 1 week shine because he hasn't shown in quite some time.
No, but you know what?
And he's being upstaged by 23-year-old tiny Lio Rush.
But you know what, too? They always do this, though. But I know, but they always do this, though, even when, like, they're in their hometown. It's always, like, something, like, they either don't win or it's, like, something stupid happens where it's not, like, clear or not. And it's just dumb. Like, they always, like, to torture people in their hometown.
I know. Well, yeah, it's not as bad as what they used to do to Jim Ross. Oh, thank you. Okay. A Revival were on pay-per-view at Payback, was it 2016 or 2017? Oh, I guess. Yeah, it had to be 2016 when they were facing Enzo and Cash. The match was the one where they had to stop because Enzo got concussed from the second ring rope. Oh, so the Revival have been around since 2016. That's right. Okay.
I guess that's it.
Oh, were they on WrestleMania? Were they at WrestleMania 33? Were they part of that match?
The one. Wait, which one did we go to?
33, the ladder match with the Hardys. No. I can't remember everything.
It kind of comes like in a blur to me. Everything just mushes together.
I always used to say that like I could remember every single thing about shows. No, it was Gallows and Anderson. That's who was on it.
Oh, right.
Which
oh my god.
I don't know why they kind of remind me of Gallows and Anderson anyway. Two bald dudes, and like Dawson's bald, Wilder's not, but I don't know. They're just blah. Looking.
Blah.
They look very blah.
Blah.
The Vaudevillains. That was a good team. I like them. Okay. Anyway. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. So the Revival. Okay. Correction. The Revival did not face Enzo and Cass at Payback 2016. That was the Vaudevillains. So I think they did come up in 2017. I'm pretty sure of that, but I can't be too sure.
Nah.
Blah and meh, according to Quentin Walters. Okay,
blah,
thank you, sir.
Meh.
All right, going back to this Raw recap. So yeah, that sucked. And Nia Jax did stuff. They're wasting Ember Moon. I'm pretty sure there was a second injury in the Divas division. Oh my God, how dare I? The women's division. But Mickie James will always be a diva to me. I don't know why. Ember Moon hit. Okay, so I'm just going to show it here. But Ember Moon hit Mickie James with a somersault, with a cannonball off the apron, and she basically just like her ass just landed right on her head, just full ass on face, just crushed her on the ground. Basically sat on her head. And when after the match, obviously Alicia Fox got crushed by Nia Jax in a match that was just so pathetic. It's not even funny. Mickie James was not there to pull Alicia Fox out. They cut away very quickly, but I think she was injured. I think she's hurt.
Maybe
not. I don't want to speculate.
I'm a little mad at you, though.
Me?
Yeah.
Why?
You. Because, the first podcast...
Oh, God.
No. It needs to be brought up.
Are you serious?
It needs to be brought up. This is
we
very
talked about this in confidence.
I don't care. It's a very serious matter. Okay?
Why are you bringing up stuff from eight shows ago now?
No, because you know what? You need to be called out. The thing is, Alicia Fox, you were like, she's not that bad. Tonight was a clear cut match.
I know. I was wrong.
Okay. That's all I needed to hear. Apologize to the viewers.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I even tried to say that Alicia Fox wasn't a horrible wrestler.
Yeah,
She is
like
a horrible wrestler.
You didn't call her a trailblazer because that was the word of the word that they were using for her, but you said she wasn't that bad. Tonight was a clear indication of her skills and her ability in the ring, and you you were wrong.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay?
I get it.
All right? So you apologized, right?
Oh, yeah, sure. I'm sorry. Okay. She's not horrible. I mean, she's passable in the ring.
Whoa. Don't make me write this down.
Okay,
Podcast
okay,
number 1,
okay,
podcast number 8.
Okay. So, yeah. You know what? It's just that you know what? This match was really hurt by the fact that just Nia Jax is just not a face. She cannot ever be a face. There's no possible way you get me to buy her as a face. I cannot buy her because a face has to sell. And there's nobody on the roster, on the heel side, that could make Nia Jax sell, and I would believe it. Unless they bring back Karma. And the Awesome Kong. They have to bring in another monster for her to face. Otherwise, it's ridiculous. Alicia Fox applying a chin lock to Nia Jax was the most asinine friggin' thing I've ever seen in my life.
Right.
Ugh. Just brutal. And the only reason that she's still a face anyway, because she should be a monster heel just crushing everybody and, Ronda Rousey's mortal enemy for now until the sun explodes the earth. The only reason they have her a friggin' face is because they made who they're partnered with for Total Divas, make her nominated for some fake award.
Don't even get me started on Total Divas.
We don't have time.
Can I mention it real quick?
Okay.
All right. So on Total, if anyone didn't watch, I'm sure most of you didn't watch, but if you did wind up watching, this is the one I have to say the episode overall was good. But they try to make it seem like with Nia's WrestleMania match, they're like, oh yeah, because Alexa and I aren't friends anymore, so it's personal for me. I'm like, we know this is not true.
I know. It's like when the Bellas were facing each other and they were having a real fight on Total Bellas. Like they're
friends, so we know you're friends. Like,
right, their fight translates into a match. So basically,
she goes, this is personal for me because Lexi and I had a falling out. We're not friends anymore. I'm like,
right, yeah, okay,
okay.
Yeah, sure.
Hang out all the time.
So basically, every feud in wrestling starts because somebody has a disagreement backstage. So
on Total Divas,
Roman Reigns has no friends, I guess. Yeah, sure. Whatever. So stupid. Oh my God, Clinton Bowman. Oh my God, the impersonation of Victoria is too good at this. So you're getting all this.
Hey.
So yeah, Nia Jax, that stunk. Just not a face. She'll never be a face. Finally, so we get to our main event. So all night they've been teasing Baron Corbin's going to be teaming with two mystery people, and it wound up being AOP.
I was right.
That was awesome.
I was right.
You called it.
I did. I was like, it's going to be AOP.
I was like, yeah, I guess. I mean, I was waiting for the squash match because I love AOP squash matches, and when it didn't come up, I was like, oh, I guess they might be.
Well, that's kind of like actually one of the reasons why I thought it. I was like, oh, okay. And then it just kind of confirmed when they didn't have their match. I was like, ooh.
Yeah. And you know what? This was a big thing.
Big opportunity.
For AOP and Drake Maverick as well.
I love Drake Maverick.
Damn. It was so good. It
was really good.
Like AOP belonged in there. Baron Corbin looks like a total goof.
He's the outlier.
In this that friggin' vest thing. I can't take that. But damn, AOP was so awesome.
AOP was awesome. And you know what? They really played into the psyches of everyone tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody. Everyone in that match. And especially with Drew and Dean Ambrose. They really played into the psyches.
Oh, that's right. That's right. They also teased, Seth Rollins teased Drew McIntyre that, you're the one who's being used. You're the talented one. Ziggler's riding your coattails. Strowman needs you. You're the one who's being used. So that played to that.
And then when Ziggler came up, he's like, what was that about? He goes, don't worry about it. He said something along the lines like, don't worry about it.
Right. Right, but they kind of glossed that over in the main event. They didn't even really touch on that.
But
it was really all about Dean Ambrose. Is he going to turn on his partners? Even Michael Cole goes, is Dean Ambrose full Shield or what? Pretty good stuff. I'm going to cough my brain off, so you got to talk for like a second.
Oh, no problem. I really thought they played into the psyche of Dean Ambrose, because when they were saying about, my favorite part at the end was when he was standing beneath the ring and he's looking at the Dogs of War, and then he's looking at the Shield, and he's kind of going back and forth in between, and then Drew kind of gives like the nod, like, okay, all right, you're gonna go that way, and back to the Shield. So it was good.
It was good stuff. Okay, I'm back. I was dying for like 2 seconds.
I almost had that before. It's dry in here.
It's very dry in here.
Why?
I don't know. I think it's because we turned the AC off, or the AC's off right now.
Yeah,
for whatever
maybe.
reason. But
it's like chilly.
Dying a slow death.
Oh.
The main event was so much fun. AOP was so friggin' good in this. They were so friggin' good.
I liked how they
and Seth Rollins' hot tag at the end and going just unloading on everybody was so friggin' awesome.
I like how they were
the
sitting
stomp
on
on Corbin.
You know what I mean?
And then the double suicide dives. That was so much fun.
It was really, really good.
What'd you say about the chairs?
I liked how what do they call them? The War of Dogs or Dogs of War?
Dogs of War. Well, I mean that's what they called them like 2 weeks ago.
Well, I
liked
liked how they were all sitting on the chairs and they were just kind of watching. They weren't
right. Yeah, they were just there observing. They're waiting for Dean Ambrose to give them the signal. And the black chair is very reminiscent of when Seth Rollins hit Reigns and Ambrose with the chair when he turned on the Shield in 2014. So there was a bunch of callbacks there. Maybe that one I might be looking too deeply into.
Hey, you never know.
You never know. But
it's very well possible.
It was good stuff. And then it's like after the match, Reigns, Ambrose gets the hot tag. He's the one who cleans house, and then Reigns just basically tags in and spears Corbin for the win. So AOP does not take the pin. I was very happy about that. I thought either Akam or Razor were going to take the pin. I was a little scared about that.
No,
I was like that would be ridiculous.
No, that would have been just so random and not good.
Yeah.
Because they get a main event match and you're gonna have them take the pin.
No, yeah, that would be stupid.
No.
That would be reckless. Cameras rarely miss anything, and I get it. Like every now and then, sometimes it's too sterilized and things are too perfect and too rehearsed. This is where it worked. This is where it worked. I get it. You can't have this like sometimes. If you did this spontaneously, you might not nail it. But to have Ambrose on the floor,
that's what I was saying before.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. In the middle of, in between Strowman, Ziggler, and McIntyre, and then the Shield in the ring.
Yeah.
And him looking around in his face, it was great. Bold. And then Ambrose looked at them, and then he gets in the ring and joins fists with them, and that's how Raw ends. The Shield is still united, and we're done teasing Ambrose turning for a little while at least.
And I don't think this was forced. Some people were mentioning how it seemed very forced that they're teasing this breakup because they want it so badly for no, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I really think they're having a nice build to it.
Yeah, no, and
you know what?
They're going to get some mileage out of this for sure.
I like the Shield being together. I really do.
Sure.
I really do. At first, when Ambrose came back, I was like, oh, it'd be cool if he turned. But no.
It was
no, I really
it was a good show.
So
I'm looking at some of the Twitter comments here. This time Raw nailed it. I was also very confused regarding Dean Ambrose's situation, but really want Kurt Angle back and Renee Young doing a good job on commentary.
Yeah, she's finally talking about the Shield.
She was good.
But you know what, though? She's kind of... she really has no choice because they are dominating the program.
Right.
They're the main part of the whole show.
It's too soon to bust up the Shield. It's okay to tease the inevitable for a while. I like that one. That's a good comment. And that one's barely written in English, so I can't read it. Some people are not good spellers, I guess, is what it is. So some of them I can't read. So looking at this, people are talking about the Ambrose turn down the road. I still think Ambrose is a slam dunk heel turn down the road, and he would be well suited for that. Well served doing a heel turn. But I have to give the show a thumbs up.
Me too.
Yeah, there's no way you can give a show like this a thumbs down. And let's see how the Twitter poll is going. We have more votes. It's 59 votes now. We have a 68% thumbs up, 32% thumbs down. So it looks like people are a fan of the show tonight.
We agree.
We agree. You're seeing unity on the Tedesco family here.
Wow.
This is exciting.
Post Raw number 8.
See, Post Raw number 8, the best Post Raw of all time. No doubt. We sang. We did a whole bunch of crap. Quentin gave it 100 thumbs up. That's pretty good. Everybody else, I'm kind of interested to see. Oh, my God. I like this one. You might not get the... Oh, actually, you might. You watch Star Wars with me. Baron Corbin, according to Jamel Watson, the Jar Jar Binks of WWE. Wow. Yeah, I guess so. Oh, man. That's good. Clinton Bowman, I can't see a turn going into Survivor Series. I can't either.
No.
But I can see it after Survivor Series.
Yes.
I could see it like the night after Survivor Series. Probably a turn, and then that'll get you to like Royal Rumble or something like that.
They can really keep this going.
You could do it there. You know, that might be where to do it. Clinton, CJ also thinks that Drew McIntyre is going to break away. I would say that one's a slam dunk, because McIntyre is being built bigger than everybody else. You know, like you can see that that's the direction that they're going. He's the guy that they want to go with,
and I'm fine with that.
Me too. All right, so before we end, I've been saying for like a couple weeks now, because Adam, our dear friend Adam Martin, he makes all of our awesome graphics. Like this Post Raw number 8 graphic right there is totally great. Or there. That one. I pointed the wrong direction. Yeah, you got it. Yeah,
I'm good?
You're good.
Okay.
He makes all of our great graphics, and he does all the stuff on our YouTube. But for whatever reason, like the last few weeks, he's picked the most ass ugly stills from these YouTube videos that he could possibly find of me.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, I said of me. So I'm just gonna take a second just to pose and make sure that he gets a really good one of me. So he can use that now. And Victoria's got a face too. So now we have our post-Raw faces covered. I would love to see if Adam actually uses those. That would be so funny. Are you doing Natalia?
Well, no.
Yes, Ronda.
Yes, Ronda.
Oh, yes. So speaking of next week on Raw, it's going to be Ronda Rousey versus Ruby Riott. So that's one of the matches they built for next week. We got Bobby Lashley taking on Kevin Owens, and Shawn Michaels will also be on the show. So big Raw next week. We're looking forward to recapping that. We will be back for Post Raw number 9, or the Wrestleview Post Raw number 9. I think we're good here. What do you think, Victoria?
I think so.
You know,
my knee's bothering me.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun interacting with everybody tonight. And if you don't get to listen to us live, I suggest, if you ever have a night off or whatever it is, tune into our show, interact with us. We love it. We had a great time interacting. Clinton Bowman says that the main event was the match of the night for him. I think the tag match had to be the match of the night for me. The tag team title match. Mm-hmm. Victoria does better facials than Mike. Yeah. What else is there? Yes. Well, Natalia's, she's a dude though. But, Anyway. It was a lot of fun interacting with everybody. We hope you enjoy listening to us, however you listen to us. If you're listening to us in the car, on the way to work, or you're at work, or you're at school, whatever it is, however you consume our podcast or our vodcast, we appreciate it, and we've had a great time hanging out with you tonight. So, we will see you next week. I am Mike Tedesco.
And I am Victoria Tedesco.
Ciao.
Bye.